This guy shot our deputy. He ambushed him.
Our breaking news tonight, that is Spartanburg County Sheriff Chuck Wright describing what happened to one of his deputies shot today in the line of duty.
Authorities say the deputy was responding to a domestic call.
We've been following this breaking news story since late this afternoon. We do know the suspect in this shooting has also been shot.
The sheriff's office says they responded to a home in the Oak Forest subdivision in regards to a domestic call. When they arrived, they say one deputy was shot as he approached the home. The suspect then led deputies on a short chase down Anderson Mill Road towards Highway 290. We're told the suspect fired at deputies during the chase and deputies returned fire. The sheriff's office says the suspect wrecked his car before getting to the highway. A canine unit located the suspect in nearby woods where he was shot twice and then arrested.
Coverage on this top story this evening. We're going to begin that coverage with the latest on this deputy who was shot today. Sheriff Wright held a news conference full of faith and feeling tonight. You see our Alessandra Young. She was at that update. Alessandra, what have we learned?
Good evening. A few minutes ago, we saw Sheriff Wright and deputies come out and lower all 3 flags to half-staff. Now, what we do know is that a deputy with the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office has been shot, and Sheriff Chuck Wright says his deputy has been with the department for 3 years. Now, he got really emotional during the presser, talking about the impact of today on the entire department. Officials say the call came in around 3:20 for a domestic disturbance on Chaffee Drive in Spartanburg County. That's where officials say a deputy was shot approaching the residence.
He was ambushed and he was shot.
Sheriff Chuck Wright says the suspect ran from the scene. Another deputy attempted to pull him over on Anderson Mill Road.
After knowing what was going on with one of our brothers, this deputy charged in and wouldn't quit. He chased this guy. Guy acted like he was wanting to surrender, gets out, shoots at the deputy returns fire.
The suspect then continued down the road until he crashed into a business near Highway 290. Officials say more gunfire was exchanged, but no other officers were injured.
I don't want to hear it from anybody about cops this and cops that until you walk about.
Officials say the suspect, Dwayne Hurd, was taken to the hospital.
We are the good guys. We do it right, and we did it right.
Sheriff Wright says this officer-involved shooting has hurt every man and woman who wears a sheriff's office uniform.
Psalms 56:3, what time I am afraid I will trust in thee. I will trust in Christ in this. I'm confused, I'm hurt, I'm angry.
And that the thing needed most are prayers.
I just need your prayers. The deputies need your prayers. They need your prayers.
Sheriff Wright says he will not be releasing the name of the deputy involved at this time. For now, live in Spartanburg County, Alessandra Young, 7 News.
And as you can tell, the entire sheriff's office has been shaken by this, and so has the community, including neighbors near what is now a crime scene on Chaffee Road. Our team coverage continues where we find Asia Wilson at that location. Hey, Asia.
Hey Taylor, deputies tell us it all started here on Chaffee Road at a home on right here in the Oak Forest subdivision. You can see the crime scene tape still up, detectives still going in and out of this home investigating. Some residents tell us people are shaken and shocked and feeling for the deputy, his family, and the entire force. Now here's how it all started. Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office officials say around 3:20 this afternoon, deputies responded to Chaffee Drive in response to a domestic call. We're told one deputy was shot when he approached the home. At that point, investigators say neighbors gave them a description of the suspect, his car, and the direction he went. Another deputy spotted the suspect's car on Anderson Mill Road. That's when they attempted a traffic stop. Deputies say at one point the suspect acted like he was going to surrender, but then shots were fired. The suspect was shot twice, but is expected to survive. The suspect continued down Anderson Mill Road until he wrecked near Highway 290 and ran into the woods. That's where he was arrested. Neighbors on Chaffee Road walked us through what they saw and heard.
My husband came outside to check the flooring levels in our pool, and I was sitting inside, and we heard gunshots, about 3 or 4 gunshots, and next thing I know, my husband runs in and says, I think our neighbor shot a police officer.
So I called 911 and let them know an officer's been shot. I saw the suspect come out and he tried to get into the officer's car. He couldn't. He turned around, went back in his house. He came back out. My other neighbor had come out at that point, and he turned around and pointed his rifle at my neighbor, and he went back inside. He got in his pickup and drove off right as the officers were coming down the street. So they checked on the other officer. They got back in their cars. They took off. I ran over to check on the officer as the officers were pulling up as well, and then they took over the scene, of course.
Now, again, that suspect has been identified as Dwayne Hurd. As you heard, the sheriff's office now asking for everyone to pray for that deputy and his family tonight. For now, we're live in Spartanburg County. Asia Wilson, 7 News.
Asia, thank you. We'll certainly be praying. And according to online court records, the suspect, Dwayne Hurd, does have a record. He was arrested in October of last year. He was charged with resisting arrest on a traffic charge. Hurd was released on a $500 bond. That trial was still pending in state court.